paying for the day. I thought that's a funny way of taking anybody out. But it didn't matter to me. I got the things I wanted.
You should have told me. You could have ordered them on Amazon. I could have ordered them on the computer.
Yeah, I don't even think of that. You see,
but your vacuum cleaner bags should be here probably Tuesday. But they'll go to Bob's, so
yeah.
I hope they're the right size.
Well, as long as they fit on it, don't matter whether they're big enough or not.
Yeah. So you don't go down to the supermarket anymore and just sort of browse around because you can't see at all, yeah?
Shopping?
Yeah.
I just go on a Saturday with Sheila, which is an hour.
Well, that's good. Down to Tesco or Roy's?
Just down to Roy's and get one or two bits on my own.
Right.
And I'll mainly go on my own. I'll leave Sheila.
Like her mum does.
And yeah, because she's got a mum.
But she said her mum goes on her own.
Yeah, if I think I can find a lot of things by colour alone.
Yeah.
And if I think I found what I wanted and she's not around, whoever's near me, I ask.
Good.
In fact, there's so many people know me down there, and they'll come over and say, "Can we help you?"
Yeah.
And if I get anything in the end I'm not sure about, I'll check with Sheila before I go through the checkout.
Yeah.
So that's something. I still feel a little bit independent doing that.
Yeah.
Just that little bit.
Yeah.
And that's just all that's taken away from you, all your independence, all your...
That must be so frustrating not to be able to get in a car and drive somewhere and...
Yeah. But
I can't remember. Did you used to drive?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I had my own car.
I can't remember.
I had my little Fiat.
So did you have a proper licence or did you cheat?
I was driving when you come home from Jamaica.
Yeah. Did you have a licence?
A
driver? You passed the driving test?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I never drove. Never had to take a driver's test. I learned to drive during the war. And they immediately give you a licence, which followed on.
Really?
I never had to take a test. I never did take a test.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You used to get little... My experience of learning to drive took all of 20 minutes.
Where was that? In London?
The boss took me out.
In London?
In Norwich, in Derby. It was a milk firm.
Right.
Because all the men had been called up.
What year was this?
He asked me if I'd go and... I said, well, I can't drive.
What year was this?
What would it be? It was during the war.
44?
45.
Yeah. The last year?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And he took me out one afternoon, took me up the top of a ruddy hill, showed me where the things were. I drove down. Next day I took the van out.
Yeah.
So I learned through experience.
And the van was a
And
milk...
I never had an accident.
The van was a milk van, was it?
Yeah, it was a milk van.
So did you deliver milk?
And you delivered the milk, and we used to have it in churns, not bottles.
Oh, okay.
Because there was no bottles.
Yes.
And you used to have to tip it into a small one, and then go round and dish out what they were supposed to have, because it was rationed.
Right.
And that's how I learned to drive.
But rationing lasted after the war, didn't it? How, for a long time?
Oh, yes. But that, and as I say, the licence just went on. You just renewed it and renewed it and renewed it till you came into the new ones.
Right.
And I taught your father to drive.
But he didn't have a licence. Didn't you tell me
he
never took it? He should have done. And
he
didn't.
never took his driving test till after you got yours.
Oh, really? Okay.
And you shamed him into it because you went and got the extra one.
Oh, the Institute of Advanced Drivers.
And when you come home with that, that was it. He said, I think I better go. And he passed.
Yeah.
But in Derby, it wasn't for not sitting it. In Derby, if he sat it once, he sat it about 14 times. Failed every time.
Yeah.
And yet, at that time, he was a good driver.
Yeah.
He could drive anything, get in anything, drive it.
Yes.
Drive it drunk or sober.
Yes.
Better drunk than sober. He couldn't all, funnily enough. But No, they never bothered him. We had some near scrape because I had mine. He thought he was all right.
Yes.
If we went on holiday, a policeman pulled us up.
You showed yours. Yeah.
But as I say, you shamed him in because you got your test first time, and then you got that other one. He says, "Oh, I think it's about time I got mine and had another go." And he even drove to King's Lynn on his own. You know, he's supposed to have a passenger.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he didn't. He just went to King's Lynn and just got out and.
Yeah.
Oh, how he got away with it, I don't know. But he did.
Tell me about rationing.
Eh?
Tell me about rationing after the war.
Rationing?
Was all food rationed or just some?
Well, no, they slowly come off. Some of the things slowly come off that become a bit more plentiful.
So what was it, sugar?
But meat was a long time before it became unrationed. It got a bit more. Everybody seemed to relax a bit, but I think it was a good sort of 3 years after the war before it was all finished, all completed.
Yeah.
But
what were you doing when they said the war's over?
When the war was over?
Yeah, the day they said. What day was it? Was it June the something, right?
The day the war was announced that it was over, I was actually delivering milk. I had a lot of Yanks and a lot of army blokes.
In London?
Pushing the ruddy van.
In London?
No, this is all Derby.
In Derby?
You see, we moved to Derby when Dad's firm was bombed in London.
Right.
And Bliss's was moved to Derby.
Right.
And he stayed there about 18 months on his own in lodgings and hated it because we were in the country.
Right.
And that's when they got the house in Derby and we moved to Derby.
Yes.
And we no sooner moved and they'd done some bombing. So we walked back into it because the house in London was bombed and cut straight in half. You could see it like a doll's house.
Oh, I know. I've seen pictures like that.
Terrible.
Yes.
And half the furniture hanging off. And
so when was it the 6th of June that it was announced? Was it the 6th of June? What was the date it was announced? The war was over. I think it was the 6th of June.
6th of June?
Yeah.
Yeah, because funnily enough, a lot of things in my life has always been the 6th of June.
Yeah. So what were you doing? You were delivering milk?
I was delivering milk, and it was announced, and everybody sort of went mad all of a sudden. And that night, all that day and that night, it was all just dancing and everybody with everybody. I was with a singer, Johnny Ray. Good night that was.
Yeah.
Very. And no, it just went on for a couple of days before it started to calm down.
Were the pubs open?
But all the pubs were open. And as I say, all the Yanks were about because we had a lot of Americans stationed in Derby.
I didn't know that. In Derby?
We had at the bottom of the garden there was a big house. That was the American club.
At Crompton Street?
Yeah, because they used to throw me nylons over the wall. And
really?
chewing gum, and my mum used to say, "You're not going out with them, are you?" Funnily enough, I wasn't. I only went out with one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not allowed?
Oh, she felt terrible.
How old were you then, in 1945?
No, in 1817.
Yeah. Wow.
Good time.
So you remember a lot of the war then? You remember a lot of it?
I remember all the war.
Yeah?
Yes, remember being the evacuee, going off with my case.
To be not a farm girl, what did they call you?
Me label, gas mask.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen myself twice on telly.
Really?
Standing on the station with all the kids.
Have you really?
Because my mother never even came to the school with me.
Yeah.
She saw me out the front door and that was it. I had to lug this ruddy case right over Clapham Common to the school. And I was also happy where they got me. We went to
Where was that?
Bognor Regis,
Oh,
or
Bognor
near
Regis, yeah.
Bognor, Middleton on Sea it was called. Pretty little place, and they put me with a young couple.
Right.
They just had a little baby which suited me. I love babies and all seen to them. And I was very happy there. I was so damned happy I never wrote and told them where I was.
Yeah.
And in the end they came and found me. And
Right.
through that I got hooked out.
After the war.
No, this was only months into the war.
Right.
Mum and Dad.
Oh, and then took you to Derby.
Then no, we went to Boddington, a little village near Banbury. Mum took me to a woman there to be evacuated privately,
Right.
and she was an old witch, and she was an old witch.
What do you mean, an old witch?
Oh, she was a wicked
Oh, wicked.
woman.
Yes.
Wicked woman. And
Why was she wicked? What did she do?
eh?
Why was she wicked?
Well, for one thing, she never fed me. And her son was a pest.
How old was he?
Funnily enough, I nearly married her son.
Really?
Years later. I had better sense.
But why was she wicked? What else did she do?
Well, she was
Strict?
just seemed to predict everything that would happen, and it happened. And well, nothing she used to do, and because I was a kid, I hated it. She used to go and lay people out when they died.
Oh, no, don't tell
And
me
then
that.
come home and start cooking our tea or something. If we've got any cook. I've never. My main diet while I was with her, and I was with her 18 months, was either beetroot sandwiches or fish paste sandwiches. Fish paste was a treat.
Right.
And yeah, I love beetroot sandwiches.
You still do?
Yeah. Cooked or hot, not with vinegar.
Sorry, hot beetroot sandwich.
Yeah, but it's...
Hot beetroot sandwich? Oh, no.
But, no, she was just a funny woman. You used to get bit to death in the ruddy bed. And in the end, the woman from the post office in the village, well, it wasn't even a village, it was a hamlet,
Right.
tiny little place. The woman from the post office wrote to my mum and Dad and said how I was being treated.
Oh, really?
So down comes Mother again. Well, Mum was sending me pocket money, and it wasn't a lot, but the old girl never gave it me.
Yeah. Which
That
must have
was
come
it.
on the train. Go down on the train, right?
Yeah, because she got paid well, because where for most evacuees they got 10 shillings a week
From the government?
from the government, my mother, or Dad rather, paid £1 to this woman, supposed to look after me.
Right.
So she done well out of it,
Right.
and that was a hell of a lot of money then.
So the government paid, so a bit like foster care, was it?
Yes, I suppose if you look back on it that like,
Yeah.
you just, so many would go from a school down to a village, and then they were allotted different
Yes.
places. Mostly, luckily, a lot of them were on farms.
Well, that would be nice.
I wasn't. I was next door to a farm, and there's Bill and Ben, the farm, the two little dwarfs.
Yeah?
But what they couldn't do, farming, was nobody's business.
Goodness.
And I used to love to get with them and, potato picking, harvesting.
So how long were you there? How long? You weren't there very long then?
Well, I was there from 11 to 14.
Oh, you were there, you were with these foster
I left
parents for
school
3 years?
there.
For
I
3
left-
years?
Yeah, but I wasn't with that woman all the time. After the 18-month, Mum moved down there.
Okay.
Mum moved down there because we managed to rent the cottage next door to this woman, which was £1 a week.
Right.
Or, it was a basic. You
Shilling
had to
a week,
pump outside.
Yeah.
and
20 shillings to the pound, right?
Yeah.
How much did the
that
foster
was-
parents get a month? A week? £10? No.
Yeah.
10 shillings? Did you say how much did they get paid?
Shilling a week.
A shilling a week.
£1 a week. 1 shilling. But that was because it belonged to the church.
Oh, that was the rent, yes.
So we got that, and Mum and I stayed there for a couple of years, till, as I say, we moved to Derby because Dad had had enough.
And what year was that? Do you remember? After the
I
war?
was 14.
Oh no, before
the
the war.
war hadn't finished.
No, before the war. Okay.
No, I was. I'd just left school. I'd had 6 months at work, I suppose, because I'd got a good job and I loved it. But Mum wouldn't let me go with them. They wanted to take me to India, and Mum wouldn't let me go.
Yeah.
So I got hooked out of that one.
How did you get up to Derby? Did you go on the train?
Hmm?
How did you get up to Derby? On the train?
Yeah.
From Bognor Regis, you said, yeah?
Bognor Regis was the first place I was in.
Yeah.
And that, as I say, that was I was so silly. You know, it was with my mother. You didn't have freedom, and I'd got it
Yes.
all of a sudden.
Yes.
Though the people, I couldn't just do as I wanted, but I'd got that freedom and to do what I wanted, or be with my mates. Because I can remember on the actual day war was broke out.
Oh, you can remember that?
We were on the seashore,
Oh.
in the water. I was in the water.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the joke was in them days you had to wear little stays things. And in one of these things she'd put a little pocket. And in this pocket she'd put a £1 note.
Wow, that's a lot of money then.
It was, but fancy putting it there because the woman would have washed it, wouldn't she?
Right.
Well, anyway, it didn't stay long.
You took it out.
I took it out and I can remember going round this and go round this real seaside smell. And for this £1 I'd bought a swimming suit, a hat, little rubber shoes we used to wear then, a ring,
Yes.
and a bucket of spade and some sweets,
Yes.
all for £1.
Wow.
Whee! And when she finally got the clothes back, where's the £1? I spent it. Ooh, but she didn't say a lot because Dad said, is that all she's done? That she's not done bad. 'Cause I must admit I was Dad's pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad's pet. But it was him that made me a nice life. Every Sunday we used to go out somewhere or other.
What, in the countryside or?
No, this was in London when I was growing up.
Oh,
as
just
a
walking
child.
somewhere, yes?
Yeah, we'd go up to one of the commons or
Right.
go if there's any exhibitions or anywhere or museums.
Yes.
And that unfortunately is why my sister was jealous of me because Dad favoured me and not her.
Yeah.
And she was his own daughter. But
Yes.
it's, looking back on different things. I enjoyed the time in Derby because I liked dancing. And that's why I worked and done anything for Mum so I could go dancing at night.
You used to go out dancing before you got married at night? On your own?
Every night I went dancing.
Where?
Except Sunday. I'd go to a private dance school on a Sunday because I belonged to a group as well.
What sort of dancing?
Ballroom dancing.
Well, ballroom dancing,
Yeah.
not teeny bop dancing.
No, ballroom dancing. I've got a couple of medals somewhere.
I don't think I've ever seen you ballroom dance.
You've never seen me?
I don't think so, have I?
No, I don't suppose you have.
Yeah.
Why? So
Why did you
I had
stop?
some nice... Because Dad, with the going in competitions, Dad used to catch coupons off the boys at work so they could have dresses made for me, the proper ballroom dresses.
Oh, what Russian coupons?
Yeah, all very posh. And no, I won quite a few championships. I could have gone further if I was allowed to travel.
Do you have any photographs?
No.
Not one
got any.
photograph.
I think Penny's got 2. But they're not ballroom, they're on the stage, they were pantomime.
Not with the snake.
I've never One of them was in a Scotch uniform and the other one was in an evening dress.
I've seen you in the Scotch uniform.
Oh, that's...
I've seen that
was
photograph.
that was in a pantomime.
Yeah? At the Hippodrome?
At the Hippodrome, yeah.
Yes.
No, Grand, that one.
The Grand?
The Grand, that was them, yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember where the Grand was in Derby.
Your dad brought you to see me once backstage.
Really?
Oh, that was a lot late. That was when
How old was I?
filled in for somebody
Yes.
with this act.
Yes.
Gringa, you've heard me say. And the second time she come, the same thing happened. But I was married, got you. I hadn't got Sue, I hadn't got any other. And she sent round quick to see if I'd fill in again.
Right.
That's when I found out she'd got snakes. She hadn't got them in the first place. And your dad brought you to the front of the theatre. You sat in the front.
Right.
And you stood on the seat and said, "That's my mum."
How old was I?
About 2.5.
Yeah.
And I know your dad come round backstage and come up to me and asked me where, could I tell him where I was. I said, "I'm here, you silly bugger." It was my makeup.
Oh, right.
Big makeup. And the flimsy things.
I sometimes tell people that my biggest claim to fame was I was bounced on Billy Cotton's knee.
Oh, you're always... no, it wasn't Billy Cotton. You did used to sit on his lap. I found their telegram the other week for my wedding. It was the giant. The tallest
man in the world.
Yeah, he used to sit on his hand.
We don't have a photograph of that, do we?
No, I wish I did.
Yeah.
I really did. We had the tallest man in the world and the smallest. The little one used to ride a black cat with a Stetson and a big cigar.
And they used to stay in the house.
I used to have to pick him up, put him in bed.
Why? Because
when he was ready for bed.
Why? Oh, the small guy.
The small guy was comical because the doorbell went. You went, open the door. No, I'm down here. But he was perfect form. Not his wife was a dwarf. She was misshaped, but he was absolutely perfection.
Do you remember his name?
I was just trying to remember it.
Yes.
Because it was the same name as a comedian. And they had a house built in Southend, purpose built.
Smaller one.
Everything's small. What's his name? I might think of it in a minute because I am bad with names now. But they come to me in the end.
Not Tommy Cooper.
But the big bloke as well, because he died in America. And he was such a quiet chap. He'd done beautiful embroidery.
Yes.
Silk embroidery. And all he liked to do was sit by that front window wide open. Sit there quiet.
And look out onto Compton Street.
Yeah. But he was great. Because when Mum knew we got him booked, where the hell are we going to sleep him? Put 2 double beds together.
Is that what you did?
But he said he would have managed with 1 hour, I don't know. And as he went upstairs, he hit a wrist on a light switch, and it bled a little, and he cried like a baby.
Really?
Yeah. I'd sit down, bathe it, and do it up.
You can't remember the name?
Because with him, there was 2 of them. The other one was small, bit 2 inches smaller, I think.
Yes.
And they had the boxing. It's a freak show.
Okay.
Then another one of them in that lot.
So this was a show at the Hippodrome.
Hmm?
This was a show that was at the Hippodrome.
Yes, it was just all
on Green Lane in Derby. On
Yeah,
Green Lane in Derby, just down from Compton Street.
And another one we had was he got no arms. You see him sitting eating his dinner with his feet.
Oh. Did these people travel around the country, or did they just stay in Derby?
No, travelled all over the place, all over the world, not just the country.
Really?
Yeah. And then we had the little couple.
What was the whole show called? Did it have a name?
It did have a name, yeah, because there was one or two different shows,
Right.
so they would have different names, but I can't actually remember, because one of the lots we had, there was two little ones, and got married from our house,
Right.
and Mum done their wedding reception.
So they knew your house was a theatrical boarding house. Is that what it was called? 32 Crompton Street.
Just Crompton Street.
Did you call it a guest house or a boarding house?
Just guest house.
Just call it a guest house, yeah.
Theatrical guest house.
Right. Was it expensive?
But
Expensive to stay there?
it was, yeah. When you look back on it, it was a bit pathetic.
Why?
Well, it didn't have a proper bathroom, just had a bathroom and had a toilet outside. You know.
Yeah, but this was also
And yet we were
1940s,
always
50s.
we were always full.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, one or two of the others up the street used to get annoyed with Mum.
Oh, there were several in Crompton
there was-
Street, was there?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
4. But because we were at the beginning, but then they were mostly pre-booked.
Yes.
And a lot of them had been in different shows. Another show, they would come back.
Yes.
We always got them back.
Yes.
But they never used to see Mum.
Really?
She would
Yeah.
never come and meet them. Never meet them.
I'm
The only day
surprised.
she saw them was on a Friday when they went through to the kitchen and paid her.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the only day she'd cook.
Yes.
She'd stay in the kitchen.
Yes.
We could have a party,
Yes.
but we had to clear up and make sure.
Yes. I've forgotten the name of the pub on Crompton Street.
Oh,
I've absolutely no. Even if you tell me, I wouldn't know. I've completely forgotten the name of the pub.
to be honest, I don't think I would.
Bowling? No.
I know Dad used to go across there occasionally.
Yeah.
It's a nice little pub. That's where your father
And
was.
it's very funny. I can remember the name of of Thika's meat paste
Oh
factory,
yeah,
which was
yeah.
on the street, right?
Yeah, we used to play with them. But that pub in Crompton Street was where your father proposed to me, if it was a proposal.
Really?
That time we got married now, found out you can cook.
I can still remember. I'm a bit shy about this. I still remember being sent to pick up horse poo from the horse that pulled the horse that pulled the milk trolley, and being sent out with a bucket and a spade to collect the horse dung for the rose garden.
Rose gardens. That's because people done that in them days. You wouldn't catch them doing it now. I don't see any horses anyway.
When did they stop delivering milk by horse? When did they stop
What?
delivering milk using a horse-pulled cart?
Oh, not so long after you had that do.
Really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't long after that. Because they only brought them back out onto the roads because of the wartime. They hadn't got petrol.
Oh, okay, I understand.
So, and then that went again, and the petrol came. Though the boss I worked for on Hadfield, he ran his petrol right the way through.
Yeah.
He had his petrol vans. But Co-op went back to the horses.
Yeah. Did they make things in Derby for the war? Rolls Royce was there, right? So did Rolls Royce is in Derby, right?
That Rolls Royce was done.
So they used to make aeroplane engines, I guess.
Engines, yes, I did do a lot of war work because we never did it. But when you were born, your grandfather went and put your name down to work at Royce's.
That was that period of history, though, isn't it? You work in a place for your whole life. That's gone now, isn't it? Yeah, you used to. Did you really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, because he was an engineer. He was a very, very good engineer.
But you told me he invented a razor.
Because he could have become one of the bosses,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't give up working on what they call the floor.
Yes. But didn't you tell me he invented a razor?
Yeah.
Was it?
And he helped to with the invention of the first safety razor,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and also he made the things for pressing out the bottom of gas masks.
Really?
And he also, another one he done was, he was a very clever man. He just wouldn't use it the right way.
Yes.
He just wanted to work, brain. That's all that mattered to him.
What was his full name? What was his full name?
My dad,
Yes.
Thomas Middleton Hilton.
Okay.
That's where you get the Thomas from.
Right. And the
Because he
Hilton.
named you.
Yes.
He gave you your first name.
Yes.
And another thing he made was the pressure cooker. He was one of 4 men that invented that, or designed it.
Really?
I
didn't know that.
Well, there's lots of things going about, and I think, oh, Dad had something to do with that, you know, and it can take you back.
Yes.
Same as now with my husband. I can walk around Wells and say, oh, my husband built that.
He was good at building, though, wasn't he?
Hmm?
He was good at building.
He was a fantastic builder.
Craftsman.
Again, he was a man that used it the wrong way.
Yes.
He could have done very well for himself.
Yes.
Very well for himself. I remember the one I did see that he'd completed on his own with one labourer,
Oh, really?
private,
Yes.
and he'd got nothing for it. You know, nothing worth having.
Yes.
So, friends, and he built it
Oh,
from
they didn't pay
beginning
him?
to end.
They didn't pay him.
Eh?
He didn't get paid.
Well, he got a pittance, you know, but building something for somebody like that was completed, I know at the time I was so angry, but I couldn't get angry with him because he took it out on me, so
Yeah.
I used to have to drop it.
Yeah.
But he could have got thousands at the time.
Yeah, I feel a bit sad about that. It would have been good to have...
Well,
yeah.
it was the same when he bargained with anything or he got anything. There's a couple of things that I had that were worth something. I go home one day, they've gone. Where are they gone? Oh, I let so-and-so have that. They give me £5 for it. I thought you were as bad as my mother. Yeah, he sold I had the emblem of the Rolls Royce.
Oh, yes.
You know,
that they use on the front of the car.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had that. My brother had given it me years and years, and it was worth something, you know. And he sold it to somebody, but not for its value. He sold it through the Exchange of Mart.
Yeah, I remember the Exchange of Mart. I was just going to say, I
Yeah.
remember the Exchange of Mart. Is it Friday or Thursday? Friday.
Yeah. Then I had a pair of carriage lamps, brass, solid brass.
Right.
And I'd cleaned them and cleaned them and cleaned them until I'd got them perfect.
Yes.
And he lent them to, or reckoned he lent them to Billy Joyce, who was one of the people that done the antiques at the hall.
Which hall?
You know, Holcombe Hall.
Right.
And
Oh, you're talking about Wells now, yes.
big carriage lamps.
Yes.
And when your dad died, I went and asked him for them. Oh, he said, I bought them off your husband, my dear.
Yes.
What proof had I got?
Yes.
He possibly did, because your dad didn't give things away. Very nearly, but not quite. But
I remember the Exchange of Mart schemes, you know, looking over that. Oh, let's buy some of those.
Oh, that was his Bible.
Coins and...
And if it wasn't there on a Thursday...
It was a Thursday, was it? Yes.
Yeah, it used to come out on a Thursday, and if I hadn't got it there when he come home, oh God, they'd be able to play for that. And I used to say, why can't you pick it up? You're at work.
Mm.
You know, near the shops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exchange of Mart.
oh dear.
It's still being sold, isn't it?
Eh?
I think you can still buy it. Isn't it still for sale?
It's still, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I've seen it.
I think I have. I think I've seen Bob have an odd one
Yeah.
when he's wanted to look for something.
It's all done on the internet now.
But
It's
other days pass.
wow. Exchange of Mart. I was trying to think the other day about the trips we had from Derby to Skegness when we went for the day. I was talking about it with somebody actually, about how I used to get car sick. Oh, I used to hate that. Do you remember me getting car sick when we went to Skegness from Derby?
Oh yeah.
And I would get me up early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'd be sick.
You'd be sick. I'd be sick because I was carrying Sue.
Right.
But go all the way in the coach. Oh, and that's at that time. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, and all them come too. I can't remember if Mum did.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the day trips when we went in the car.
Yeah.
And just went there and came back in one day.
Oh, you used to do anything rather than get in the back of that car.
Oh, I remember the smell. Just the smell made me sick.
Yeah, but the worst of it was the other two had come out in sympathy with you. Oh, so I knew what it was in for.
Yes.
Yeah, the other two, they would never be sick if they were on their own, but if you were, they were.
Really?
Yeah. And I think Bob remembers that.
Yeah, I certainly remember it. I can remember the smell in the car. It had a particular smell. I suppose it must have been a petrol smell.
But shoot, because we used to do all sorts of things to try and stop it. But because if your dad was driving, he wouldn't stop when I wanted him to stop.
Yeah.
To see to you.
Yes.
Which could have avoided a lot, probably.
Yes.
But he wouldn't stop. If one of you wanted a pee, he wouldn't stop. But if he wanted one, it was shoot.
Yeah.
But, oh dear.
Did we go to a caravan in Skegness one time? I can't remember. Did we ever go stay there?
Not to stay not in a caravan.
In Skegness, no.
No. The first caravan we ever went to was Llandudno, Wales.
Right.
And it was only a little one, because we knew nothing about hiring caravans.
I can't remember that at all.
That was Mother's. You should remember that one. Freezing cold.
Oh wait,
really
I think
freezing
I do.
cold. And I know I think you slept with me mum. Sue was on the floor and made a bed, and the old girl's sitting laying in there, and she said, "Bloody caravan, you can have the caravan, you can have the car, I'm going home tomorrow." She said, and she kept trying to get you to get out, and there was a bottle of whiskey. And she wouldn't get out of bed, I can remember that.
Telling me to go and get the whiskey?
She wanted you to go and get the whiskey. So in the end I got the damn whiskey to shut her up. Because there was no privacy in the damn bit.
Tell me, did you go
and
to...
I can remember Sue picked up bloody lice in her hair while we... Oh God, that was a week.
Oh really? Oh, that's
Weeks.
nice.
Well, your dad had found a hat playing and he picked it up and put it on her head.
Oh
And the
God.
next thing we had, of course, was going mad because of all of you. But that was our first experience. Of course, Mother didn't go home because that was the first car she bought as
Right.
well. Yeah, so we were having a holiday. All piled in this car and all the old luggage at the back. Oh God.
Was Llandudno, did you have to walk over a railway line
Yes.
to get to the
and
beach?
there used to be a train going along.
I think
Green Dragon.
I have a vague memory.
Yeah, that's great. The green. Well, it's a wonder you ain't got the memory, because you went out 2 nights running playing and come back with handfuls of money.
Oh
what
really?
people dropped on the grass.
Really?
Or
I
been-
don't remember that.
Or been playing.
Yes.
Or, you know, what, and you'd playing around
Yes.
and you found it. And I said, well, put it in your pocket. Shut up. But there was a lot, you know,
Yes.
quite a lot of change. Well, it was a lot to me, it looked. But, yeah, I can remember you doing that. Funny memories.
Wow.
So it's a good job we've got them. I must admit, when you get old, you do inclined to go back a lot.
But I think I've forgotten. That's what I'm sad about. I'm very sad. I think I've forgotten a lot. But I don't know what I've forgotten.
No, you. I don't think you have, love. I think you'll find just quite odd bits come back. They did with me.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got time to have memories when your dad was alive and Sue. But after they went,
Yes.
The time I was on my own. Then there's the time I started thinking. I had some happy memories. I've had some bloody awful ones too. The funny experience I had was when your dad died. For years, I'd dream about him